Hello girls, how you doing? Let's have another pick a card, and today is going to be all about no communication. A lot of you are finding themselves not knowing what on earth is happening. So let's see, let's find out 2 pounds, 3 cards, and then we develop if we feel like we need to. Okay, so let's try to keep it concise because that's what we do. We do concise. Okay, right. No communication. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so pound number one, right, move on. 4 of Swords, Page of Wands, 5 of Wands. Wow, very straightforward here indeed. No communication because this is a period of healing, pause, reframe, recharging battery, reconsidering a lot of things, going to in much more depth, if you see what I mean, to find out what on earth they are about, and you as well. I mean, it goes both sides, or it can be you as well, just you and not them, whatever. In the meantime, I think there is something very deep here going on. It can be like a previous relationship, it can be your own relationship, it can also be childhood trauma or even karma debt from ancestors that need to be cleared. And sometimes we do carry things that we don't even have a clue what's happening. So this is a phase for you guys of healing and resting, and that's why there's no communication. When you do that kind of work, that it's very deep, and it's not something you want to maybe advertise, because it's something that you need to handle by yourself for yourself. Okay, so that makes sense. There's an idea as well that maybe aware that they've been behaving in a very immature way. Page of Wands is not the most and also because they may have been very secretive and they were maybe not very honest altogether. So that kind of behavior, maybe they feel a bit ashamed, guilty, and also because they don't have a clue of who they are really. They're still really in a foggy situation of where they stand. So the healing is very much necessary. Plus, yes, confirmation that they are wondering a lot. You know what? They very much asking themselves a lot of questions, but also tormenting themselves. Asking question is good, but tormenting yourself is not really what you want. So there's also an idea of chemistry between you two, which is very strong. But also you think, okay, they may wonder, is it just because that person is very attractive? Is it just a physical thing? It's interesting to ask themselves a question. If it's something that we both want, and that's fine. But if there's something else, then it's difficult, right? A lot of procrastination, a lot of overthinking, wondering, daydreaming. That's why there's no communication, because the person is up in the mind very much. But the reason why they do that is because obviously there's feelings. Maybe there was love at first sight. Or also they're preparing to make an offer of love, or an offer altogether, and that is very juicy. But the thing is, if they had a love at first sight, they're actually taking a moment maybe to digest it, to wonder and ask themselves, is it for real? Is it just a physical thing? Is it just one of those moments where everything stops and then the magic happens? They just want to find out. And also because they're becoming an emperor. So male, female, doesn't matter. Is the energy when someone knows exactly who they are, 4 kings in one, and this is someone who very importantly take action. They know what they want, they know who they want, and they go and get it. Period. They can be a bit controlling, but at least you know where you stand. So it's a massive, transition from Page of Wands, which is someone who's lying to people, immature, lying to themselves first of all, and then becoming an emperor. There's no in between. It's a massive jump they're doing at the moment, and that is all about the healing. And that's why they're not communicating, because that kind of growing at that pace as well is huge. Not only they're capable of doing it, but also it takes a lot of energy, because you are become an emperor. You're not born an emperor. Emperor, same thing. So it's quite magnificent, and that's why they stay put. They're digesting all that process, because it's not one thing to just learn. It's also digest it and also be able to put it into practice. So well done them. So that was pile number 1. Not bad, eh? Good excuse to stay put. Okay, so pile number 2, no communication. 3 of Swords. The Magician, Ace of Pentacles. Fascinating. So here you have it. There was either a third party situation or communication that was actually quite awful. Harsh words had been exchanged, pain had been felt very much, and an idea as well of betrayal, obviously, if it was a third party. So, terrible. At the same time, that was maybe left as an illusion for a very long time, but then suddenly, boom, came to the surface, so everything manifests. At the same time, this situation was manifesting in your life, both of you, because you didn't, the need to meet was very much there, obviously. But there's an idea of beginning or re-beginning. Maybe the timing was off the first time, and now because you maybe do some work and get rid of the illusion and sort out your issues and maybe work on the way you express things to each other or actually learn how to express, now you can have a brand new beginning, but this time the timing will be perfect. It's also an idea of a gift, an idea of money coming in or an opportunity coming in as well your way. So that's pretty damn good altogether. Yes, the reason why they may not communicating just yet is because it's still struggling with some feisty conversation. There's some obstacle and hurdles they have to overcome, and they will overcome. That is not an issue, but it's a bit feisty, to be fair, and difficult. Also, they're preparing to actually apologize and open up at the level of the heart. They do have to say what they feel, and maybe it's an apology because the wording they use, or they betrayal you, or blah blah blah. The list is go endless. And we have a rebirth. Here you have it. So that goes very well with that Ace of Pentacles. It's a second chance. First time was off. The timing was off. Now we have another chance. We have a new beginning, because now there's maybe more maturity, a knowledge of how to proceed, and also an awareness of what we truly want. Simple as that. Yes, clarity. That's what I say. What do we really want? Ace of Swords is a very, very clear idea of what I want, what I don't want, but very often it comes after a Ten of Swords. When you've been through betrayal and pain and agonizing pain so much, and maybe you were too resilient and you really took on the chin for a long, long time, finally you get to a point where I know what I want, I know what I don't want, period. And vice versa for that person. They're very strategic, or being very strategic, absolutely, because it was one thing after another that needed to be sorted. Maybe there were finance as well involved, so they had to be dealt with precaution, totally. But bam, that's the point. That is the point. 1111, Four of Wands. That is a twin flame connection, and is obviously an idea of commitment, marriage, the whole shebang. Your connection is not something that is straightforward and that require you guys to become the best version of yourself. So that's why a lot of those connections experience long time of no communication, because that's how you actually learn. Normally you learn through suffering, and during that time you don't really want to advertise it, particularly if you had a betrayal or if you have arguments and words went a little bit too far. So those periods of time are necessary for you to actually ground yourself, digest the learning process, and develop. So all is well. Magnificent. On this note, have a beautiful day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Mwah, ciao.